What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Power Hunter Chris, and so in his L. All right, guys, we got another chapter of One Piece 993, and let me just tell you guys, Kaido is not playing around this arc. He is going. I mean, not this chapter. He is deciding to go full force. But anyways, guys, let's get to it. Chapter 993 opens up with the flower capital, and it starts off with only happens once a year. It's like today is going to be fun, and it's like an intro of the fire festival, which I guess only happens once a year. It's a special festival that happens in the flower capital, and it goes more into the backstory of like the prosperous place of Wano, how like everyone, it looks like everyone's being joyous and happy. This really hidden by like fear and oppression that a lot of people have, and then up until now it's been like really secreted. Not a lot of people like seeing it, but yeah, so it's really being exposed as of now in the Wano. And really it's crazy because they probably would have gave through to the despair and oppression, but they have hope. Their hope is alive that one day the Kozuki family, Oden and then his son Momosuke, sorry, will one day come and save Wano and restore balance to Wano, right? Kind of like the Avatar. One day he'll bring balance to the world. But yeah, so that's kind of what they're living on. Their hope, one day Wano will be back to what it used to be. But yeah, so they use the legend of Oden, right? Because Oden was just like some crazy dude, very much a legend in Wano, and they kind of just use the hope of Oden, the legend of Oden, to basically keep the hope alive as to one day that Wano will eventually become what it once was. And it's kind of sad how like this little girl, in the chapter, I thought it was so sad. She's like, how nice would it be if today never ended? Because it's like the happiness and joy that everyone feels. They only feel that really once a year, and it's like, oh my god. So it's like, yeah, because they're not able to live really for only one time a year. It kind of sucks. It's like kind of like your birthday, but the rest of the year you can't celebrate your happiness. You can't celebrate anything. Only on your birthday you can celebrate your life. Oh, congratulations, you're 22 years old. Celebrate this day for 24 hours, and the rest of the year you just shut up and go to work. Yeah, and then you see a panel of the old man crying. It's like, if only Ochi didn't have Kaido's back. Basically, Ochi is the reason. Ochi and Kaido are the reason why they're in the desperate situation. I don't know what do you think Ochi, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, is gonna do to Kaido. Like, if he had opposed Kaido, it still would have been the same outcome either way. He still would have like took down Ochi one way or another. So I'm not really sure why he said that. Probably would have been the same outcome. Now, would he have the military powers that he does now in Wano, now that he took out Ochi? Probably not, but I feel like the outcome still would have been the same. It just probably would have taken a lot longer if Ochi had opposed Kaido back 20 years ago as opposed to now. But yeah, they're just, this basically half the chapter is them like talking about the day and how like we only get to live it up one time, so we might as well live it to the fullest, right? Might as well live it to the fullest. Right, we only live once, might as well live it to the fullest. No, how does Drake's song go? You only live once and might only die to eight. Something like that. But anyways, yeah, so they, the fire festival, right? So they're just celebrating, talking about the fire festival and how it's a good time. And then it flashes to Oshihima, right? And it's just like an all-out war going on that I don't think anyone at the fire festival knows there's an all-out war going on between Kaido and everyone else. But yeah, so they're celebrating, their day. Meanwhile, there's a war going on that they probably don't even know about. So Queen, oh my god. So Queen is a devil, man. So he's creating all these little things. I don't you guys remember Udon? He created something. I forgot what he called it, but basically like caused people to be diseased, and they were able to spread infections, kind of like a plague, kind of like the coronavirus. Like, oh my god, these people are spreading it. The coronavirus unlike this, the coronavirus, some people can't be seen with it, they don't show symptoms of it, and some people do. This you can see clearly that these people are infected. It's like, and then Zoro's like, what the hell? So he's like, what is that? And it's just a guy like fully infected. And then Drake's like, as I thought, it's the plague. And then he's like, Queen. He knows it's Queen that started this, because Queen's the only one that works with like experimentation of diseases like this. And then one of the dudes starts screaming, help me, it's cold, I'll become a demon. So he knows that like the minute he'll get touched, he's like, oh my god. It's like, I'm gonna turn any one of them. So it's like a crazy disease. I don't know what is wrong with Queen, to like get to this level where he wants to experiment like this, but it's like kind of scary. But he's like, close the doors leading up to the other towers. Everyone on this floor is screwed. This is my greatest invention, the exact bullet, Ice Demon, right? So if I look at the panel, I can understand why he calls it the Ice Demon, because it looks like everyone, once they get infected with it. And I know, Chopper was in that panel, and I know he can't be happy about that because of the fact that, he's a doctor, and his job is to prevent diseases. And just seeing all these people get infected with diseases, I know he can't be happy about that. Just like a man purposely causing disease to people in order to gain his own benefit, I know as a doctor and as a Straw Hat crew member, he can't be happy about that. So I just thought it was interesting how they showed Chopper in that panel to illustrate that. Now we switch over to inside the castle, and inside the first basement, and it's Luffy and Sanji, the basement of the castle. And they're just trying to fight their way through it. And Sanji tells Luffy, hey, man, you gotta, like, save your strength for Kaido. I'll take care of him. And Luffy's like, nah, we gotta do this together, man. Like, me and you, we can easily defeat them. But he's like, Sanji, being reasonable as he is, he's like, dude, Luffy, I know you're my captain, but save your strength for Kaido. That's the guy who really matters. And Luffy's just like, trying to tell Sanji, no, I want to get rid of them too. And then Jinbe comes out of nowhere. He's like, wow, hey, guys. Like, hey, I thought you guys would be around here. Always... Jinbe, I think Jinbe next to Zoro has some of the craziest entries. I think just him, his presence, is just reassuring to me that he's now a Straw Hat. But just seeing Jinbe on in Wano with the Straw Hats, I just find that so poetic. Just like, this man finally joined the Straw Hats officially. Like, he was unofficially on the Straw Hats before, but now it's like official. So it's like, it's great, man. I consider him one of the big three now. So you have, obviously Straw Hat, right? And then the big three, like the big calamity, the three calamities, the three sweet commanders, all that stuff. So now you have like the big, I don't know what they're going to call them yet, but like Sanji, Zoro, Jinbe. So Jinbe comes and he's like, yeah, I'm going to escort you guys to the roof. Basically, hey, I'll pave the way. So Luffy, save your strength for Kaido, right? So then we get a flashback of Yamato and Momosuke. Yamato's running out of the Momosuke, right? And they're basically running away from the battlefield. And then King is basically taking control of the situation, and basically, he's giving commands, and he's like counting up the men and just saying, this is how we should deal with them. This is what we should do. And our mission, if you choose to accept it, is to make Oden's son, Momosuke, the Shogun of Wano. And we must kill him. And we must take his head and put it on a plaque. Because, at the end of the day, everyone wants Oden's son, Kozuki Momosuke, to be the Shogun of Wano. So King's like, yeah, that's not happening, right? They started this rebellion to make him the Shogun. So what we're going to do is we're going to kill him, take his head, put it on a plaque. Once they do that, he believes that it will BTW, break their will. So, yeah, so they think that once they do that, it will break the samurai's will. As for the pirates, the king knows that he knows that that they require a different motivation in order to break their will. So Momosuke's still on the run. Yamato's still trying to chase after her, have Momosuke and them saying, Don't run away from the truth. I'm not giving up on you. So yeah, she's still trying to run after them, all that good stuff. The armored, the beast pirates, right? The armored corps are now like going after Momosuke and them. So they made it their mission to kill Momosuke, and I forgot the woman that's guarding her. But yeah, so basically they're kind of screwed right now. The woman yells at Momosuke, run away. And then this dude's starting to become a bad mofo, because he's like, run. Would a shogun do something like that? So he just refuses to run, right? He's like, I'm just going to stand my guard, and if I die, I die. And then Yamato, I swear to God, Yamato better join the crew. We need a strong, independent woman. Not saying Nami and Ramen aren't, but I mean, it'd be so dope just to see her with the crew. And then she comes, and she blocks the attack that's intended for Momo, because it probably would have killed him if that had landed. But I'm acting in the name of the Kozuki family. I'm participating in this war against Kaido. So, Yamato, steps in to save Momo, and so it's basically her versus the armored corps, so the 100 Beast Pirates, which is like So basically, it's like one amount of pirates is counting this is like 1 on 20. So it's like kind of unfair. But I mean, it is Kaido's daughter, son, however you want to call that. I don't know that. I don't want to get into that. But yeah. So I think Kaido Yamato will take this will take the stand and overcome that battle. Then we get a switch scene to the roof, and we see Kaido's windpipe just slashed. And then it's just Kaido on the ground, and then they're like, "Don't let him take another breath. We will cut his head, and we will put him in the plaque." They're running after Kaido. They're like, "All right, we're gonna come after him with everything we got." And then Kaido just starts like laughing. And then, so, dude, oh my god. So before I get into this more, it just goes to show how beast of a man Oden was, because Kaido's having flashbacks of Oden. He's like, dude, this dude's been dead for 20 years, and the fact Kaido still thinks about this man, because in this panel, he's like, for a moment, I felt like I saw Kozuki Oden. And the fact that he still sees Oden 20 years later, he knows this dude's dead. It's not like this dude's lurking around, like maybe still alive, maybe not, but he's dead. Like, he's DEA dead. DEAD dead. And the fact he's still having dreams about him, he's still seeing visions of him, shows how much of a beast Oden is and how slept on he is. But then he makes a funny joke. He's like, "I wouldn't have minded if you had managed to kill me." And then he was like, "When my wounds aches, I'm reminded of him." So he's talking about the scar on his chest, because as you guys remember in the last chapter, they did slash in the same spot Oden left the mark on. But then he tells him, "You are not Oden. There will never be a samurai as monstrous as him again." And then basically he gets up and he's like, "Your cuts are no match for his. With this level of strength, you won't even be able to open up my own wounds." And this is the part that gets really insane. And then he tells him, "You are far too weak." And then I thought he was going to do a fire blast, but he does like a wind blast. Like, he's a freaking airbender. I guess he's a firebender. He's an airbender. Shit. He might as well be a water and earthbender and call him the Avatar. But he does like a wind blast. And it's like wind scythes. And all you hear is one of them say, "Wind scythes!" And one of them, Kiku, just gets slashed. And he lost an arm. Like, this dude, in the panel, you see an arm go flying. And I was like, oh my god. Like, old Kaido is not playing around anymore. He's like, you know what? I'm going for real now. And, you know, it's to be expected, right? I mean, nobody's going to walk out of this, a battle against Kaido, with no casualties. But, like, just for him, like, Kaido didn't even have to, like, really move. He just did a wind blast. And it slashed an arm off Kiku just like that. And everyone's like, "Kiku!" And you just see the arm go flying, the blood and everything. And this guy, his face, he's just like, whoa. And the chapter ends with a powerful blow that cuts through air. So I think he was the only one that got hit by the blast. But just the fact that a wind blast caused him to lose an arm just like that is the craziest thing I've seen so far. So I thought that was pretty hype. And this chapter, yeah, it just goes to show Kaido's done playing around. He's like, this is for real now. Like, you were warming me up, but this is the real boss level now. So just the fact that, you know, Kaido said that they're not really on Oden's level, and he's like, it wasn't even deep enough to get past the old wound. I'm like really scared for the Scabbards now, because, you know, 992, it made it seem like, hey man, these people have a chance. They were, you know, doing some real damage to Kaido. But just the fact that he got up and he's like, you guys are nothing compared to what Oden was, and he slashed this man's arm without even freaking attacking him. He just blew some air and he did a wind attack. And this man's arm went flying. Oh my god. Oh my god. But anyways, guys, that's the end of my chapter review. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. Subscribe to the channel for more. And wow, you know, I'm pretty hyped for the next chapter. But anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. And oh, before I forget, it's official. There is no break next week, baby. So it's 994 coming next week. So, you know, the hype is real, guys. Oshishima is about to go down in the history book. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next week, baby. Have a great one.